Just a brief update. We've had a few technical issues, and we are just forming the grid from the result of the 5-lap sprint race that we had, and the lobby crashed. So we will be starting the main event race very shortly, and hopefully no more issues with the game. So BV Baldy is sorting out the grid as we speak, and then hopefully within a couple of minutes we will be starting the race. So we welcome you back for the third time now, trying to get this feature race underway. So the game has been plagued with technical issues tonight, as we have done qualifying and done the feature race, and now we are moving on to not the sprint race, sorry, and now moving on to the 50% feature race. So just waiting for the guys to do their setups, their fuel and tyre strategy for the race, where they've just got 5 seconds left to complete that, and then we should begin a formation lap. So the game host would have picked the put the grid in order from the sprint race as we begin the formation lap. So we are going to run through the grid now, as in P1 we have got Exile 77, Robsu for the Haas team is just behind him. Gunnar, the Alfa Romeo driver, is in P3 behind Robsu. Aston Martin of Jens Hoffer is in P4, and Reliot, the second Alfa Romeo driver, is in P5. Shiba 17 is in P6 with Tom Butty just behind him. As I'm going to go onto Discord and have a look at the standings at the moment. We've got P8 for Baldy, still to finish a race, the Aston Martin driver there, and Ralph is back with us this week. He's in P9 for the Williams. Man Like Donkey, a race winner this season in Division 5, he is in P10, with Skipper showing a bit more pace this week in P11. Grobari, usually a bit quicker than this, currently in P12, but I think the rain affected his lap time. As Charlie, one of the favourites for the race, he's down there in P13 with Light Chim just behind him in P14. Before I run through the grid, just going to get the rest of this detail on here so we can see what tyres people are going with as well. So Relay Luca in P15, Hammers UK 16th, Cedric 17th with Dirt Norbert just behind him in 18th there. We've got Composite in P19 and Benjus range up the grid in P20, opting to start on the medium tyre. So Man Like Donkey is the first driver to be on the alternate strategy as the guys begin to approach the grid slot for the start of the race. Okay, so the lights are on. We've got all 5 lights on, and they're out, and away we go. So Robsu looks like he gets a better start than 77, with Gunnar getting a great start again from P3 there, as we have a look into turn 2. So clean so far, it appears, and no drivers are off, which is good to see. Oh, we do have a Mercedes at the back of Shiba, who has spun. Doesn't look like he's got much damage. So Nobert has retired. He's in the wall there on the left hand side. So we've got a VSC at the moment. Not sure if that's going to increase to a full blown safety car. And at the front, it's as you were with Felix, Robsu and Gunnar. Jens in P4, so a good start for the race for him, with Reliot just behind him here in P5. So they own the delta, and they've got to stick within a certain stick to a certain speed, so they remain under that delta, trying to keep all the cars in the exact same place as they were before the incident with Dirt Nova there. So unfortunate for him, he's retired on lap 1 of this race. The VSCs have been quite long on this game this season. Got Charlie, he's in 9th with his teammate up into P10 now. So the AlphaTauri drivers are not out of this. They're both in the points and both have good pace as well. So they could we could see some big improvements from the AlphaTauri team. Skipper there, he's up into P8 as well. So we're going to have a look at the positions changes at the moment, as we've got Ralph and Skipper up 3 places. We've got Charlie and Ray Luca, the biggest gainers here, with 4 and 5 positions gained respectively to them. So we go up front with Exile 77 as he's pulling a bit of a gap here from Rob just behind him, and Guna is all over the back of Rob at the moment. In the driver's standings, we've got Charlie at the top of the pile here on 36 points, with Guna just behind him on 33. Lightship Alpine, he's on 33 points as well, with Relay Luca just behind on 30 points. Man Like Donkey 26 points, and 77, now Exile 77, is on 25 points. So incredibly close at the top in this season, and all the way down to 10th position Jens. He's on 20 points. So this championship is absolutely wide open at the moment, and we are just waiting for DRS to be activated, which I think it should be now, as we begin lap 3. So we've got Benjius, he's in the pit lane, must have a bit of damage there from the previous lap. Lightship, I mean, he's P3 in the championship at the moment. He's a long way back, got some early damage it looks like, and he's going to need a safety car, I think, to bring himself back into the race. So 77 is pulling away quite a bit now, nearly 1.5 seconds, with the gap to Rob and Guna and Jens are quite close in tow behind, with Reliot just dropping off a little bit. Maybe lost a bit of time under that VSC. It's easy to lose half a second to a second. Not wanting to get a drive-through penalty, so Charlie's up to 8th now. And what has happened to Relay Luca? Relay Luca's dropped a place to Baldy somewhere in that restart. So this is your championship leader here, the AlphaTauri driver in P8. Got some work to do, but it is only lap 3 of 32 on this brilliant track. Can be quite tricky with some of the curves, as we discussed, and the large sausage curbs on the inside of the corners that really do unsettle the car. As it looks like the 2 drivers ahead, so he has a look at the inside, catches him, and Charlie is off. Is he going to? He's got damage. Well, he's completely out of the race. This could be a full-blown safety car here. Yep, so full safety car. Charlie sends it up the inside. He wasn't really alongside, I don't think. Put the car where he didn't need it to be, but he wasn't left room either, so it's a tricky one. That will possibly go to the steward. So unfortunately for Charlie, out the race and doing a little vibration thing going on here, as the F1 game continues to amaze us. And so yeah, full blown safety car. So we've got Exile will lose the 2 second gap that he had over Rob Sue. Don't know, but just left the session after retiring on lap 1. So Rob Sue will get that get right back up to Exile again. Jens up to P3 now, getting ahead of Guna. So we've missed that overtake on track, and Ralph is now up there into P5 with Reliot just behind him, losing 1 position overall. So we're going to take a look at the tyres here, and we've got Man Like Donkey, the first driver, on the mediums. He'll be looking to go long here, but with the tyre degradation being quite low, we're probably not going to see many pit stops, as you wouldn't really gain much from it, as we do have a Mercedes of Shiba. He's pitting, going onto the, looks like the hard tyre. It's not a good tyre around here. Ideally you'd want to go on mediums there, you won't want to go hards, as it's really difficult to get some temperature into those, and the restart will be tricky for him. And overall, just less grip and a slower tyre, and this can really impact you getting penalties. Running wide a little bit can get you those penalties with a lack of grip. So going to run through the grid as we have this safety car period. Probably going to be doing another full lap with how the cars look spread out on the track map. So we've got Felix up there getting his lead reduced to nothing after the safety car incident with Charlie. Robsu is in P2 and Jens Offer is in P3, so he's overtaken Gunnar on track. We missed that one as Gunnar drops down to P4. Ralph is up there in P5, the Williams driver, and the second Alfa Romeo driver of Reliant is behind him. Second Haas is in P7, and Skipper having a really good race. The Red Bull driver, he looks like he's had a tricky season pace wise, not being as quick as he usually is. He's up there into P8 with Relay Luke having a good recovery race at the moment in P9. DNF'd in qualify, was P20, had some a couple of issues in the sprint race, but he's up to P9 at the moment and got a good chance of getting some decent points further up the order. Baldy looking for his first finish here, he's in P10, got some good pace here, the second of the Aston Martin drivers. Then we've got the two McLaren drivers in P11 and 12 on alternate strategies there, which is good for them. They should be double stacking in the pits. Then you've got the two Ferraris in tow just behind them, also alternate strategies for them with Hammers UK and Cedric in P13 and 14. Composite, the second Red Bull driver, he's down there in P15 for the moment, having a tricky season so far, and hopefully he can get some points on the board today. Shiba, definitely one of the quicker drivers that we've seen today on this track. He looks like a track that suits him really well, but he has gone for the air tyre and he is down in P16 at the moment after a little incident there on lap 1. Benjius also has some good pace, but he's been caught up in some incidents. It's P17, so what's going on track here? So Baldy is... don't know what's going on with Baldy. He's... okay, I don't know what is going on there. And so Composite's got a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags. Baldy has had an issue, maybe spinning off, and he's dropped down the pack. Leitchie was quite a way back, so the safety car is probably going to do another lap, as we've not seen that it's coming in, so it is going to do yet another lap. As I thought I'd timed it perfectly, to be honest, without going through the grid. Thought I'd absolutely nailed it, and we are doing another lap. So thanks, Leitchim, thanks for that. So Leitchim is not far off the pack now, so this will be the final lap under the safety car as the Alpine driver comes down the home straight, and we've got Baldy in the pits, so he clearly damaged his front wing there, possibly hit one of the other drivers. I'm not sure what happened there, but a mistake from him has lost him all the good work he had done. He is now at the back in P18, so he's going to have to hurry up and catch the rest of the pack, because the safety car will most certainly come in this lap, you would think. Hopefully Baldy doesn't bin it, trying to get back with the pack. I think he should easily do it now. Yeah, he'll easily do this, as the safety car will be very slow through the chicane, and the handover to Exile 77 will be quite slow as well. So Baldy is catching the pack as we speak, and we'll go back to the front, so we will jump on board with Rob for the restart here. This will be the best view to get of the restart of the safety car, and Exile just needs to choose his spot of when he is going to go, and still warming his tyres up, and he is gone, so he's got a good start. Robsu has followed him as well, getting a bit of a gap there from Jens as we come down into turn 2. Rob has a little look for his braking zone, and how is everybody getting through turn 2? It looks good at the moment, so no incidents so far, everyone's got through cleanly, and Jens in P3 with Gunnar on the back of him. So the only pit stops we've seen under the safety car was damage. There was no strategic pit stops taking place, with it being quite early in the race. It's like I said, the tyre deg is quite low here, and nobody would have really gained from pitting so early in the race. Got a couple of laps before the DRS comes back online as well. Got yellow flag sector 3, got Ferrari of Cedric just having a moment here. Hopefully he's not cooked his tyres too much, and he can be back on his way. And the tyres should cool down down the straight there. So you've still got Felix, I keep saying Felix, Exile 77 out in front. As he pulls over a second gap to Robsy, and quite all the cars beginning to space out quite a bit at the front, over a second each, with this is the closest battle at the moment, so we don't want to see really Luca doing what his teammate did, Charlie, just put his car up on the inside of turn 2, got didn't have any space there, and unfortunately for him got sent into the wall. So Luca is putting pressure on Relly here, and this is one of the few battles we have going at the moment. Jens is just within a second of Rob in front, with Gunnar not having a lot of pace here. He was one of the favourites to win this race, and just needs to get settled into the race and get a good rhythm and build up some pace. So we've got Relay Luca on the back of Reliot for this P6 position. So Skipper's got a time penalty of 3 seconds along with his teammates. So the Red Bulls not having the best of races so far in terms of penalties, as Composite decides to pit, possibly has some damage to his car. So Baldy gets the 3 second time penalty as well, as the track limits are quite difficult to adhere to on this track, as Luca loses a bit of time there through the tricky section. I think it's in sector 2, and Relay Luca now gets a 3 second time penalty as well. I think if you can finish the race with no penalties here, you will most likely gain from that, as quite a few of the drivers will get penalties, as it's so easy to run wide here and not adhere to the track limits. So Relay, Luca and Skipper got a bit of work to do with the penalties, as I thought Luca was going to send it up the inside like his teammate did a few laps ago, causing that safety car, as he maintains his P7 position just behind Elliott. Heading back towards the front, we've got Exile showing some tremendous pace here. 3-second gap to Rob at the moment, both on the same strategy as the top 10 drivers, all on the same soft strategy. Didn't pit them with the safety car, obviously, and yeah, maintaining to their original strategy. So good 3.5-second lead now, nearly 4 seconds. So blistering pace from Exile 77. We've got Rob in P2, and Jens is caught up to Rob quite a bit now. Going to keep. So Reliot has been overtaken by Luca, but Reliot now has the DRS going to turn 2, going to look round the outside and gets it done outside inside, and Luca gives them space, but Luca comes back as they go side by side into, I don't know the turn number, but Luca runs wide a little bit as Exile has run wide. He's now down to P8. He had a lead of 4 seconds, and we've seen this a few times this season where we see amazing pace from Exile 77, but has made several mistakes, and he could easily be winning the championship if he just didn't make the mistakes. Very quick driver, and hopefully for him he doesn't push too hard and get penalties and make any more mistakes as he can. He can make his way through the pack, so that gives us a new race leader of Jens Hoffer. So maybe Robsu got caught up in Exile going off track. I'm not sure, because Jens was behind this battle. This pushes up Gunnar up to P3. We've got Ralph now up to P4. Luca made a great recovery race. He is in P5, but does have that penalty for track limits. So Reliot, he's got the DRS into turn 2. He's just behind Luca, and he's got Skipper all over the back of him. And Skipper, he's showing some good pace here today. He's not at the pace this year. He's got one 12th place finish and 2 DNFs, so the season isn't going his way, but he's clearly really enjoying this track, and a top 10 finish would be great for him to build on for the rest of the season. He has got Exile all over the back of him, who we know is obviously a very quick driver here. We're going to jump on board with him and see how Exile is recovering after his incident. Needs to keep a cool head and stay composed and gradually gain places throughout the race. So Hammers gets the 3-time second penalty just as Liverpool score their 3rd goal, which is disappointing. Exile's off again. Oh my god, big crash. What has happened here? So Exile had gone off. It looked like he was just going back onto the track. Another car has hit him, so that would have been Benjius, I think, who doesn't have any front wing. So Exile has gone from 4-second lead to maybe being out of this race of chance to win. So we've got Rob. He's now in P1. We've missed the overtake on Jens as the Haas and Alpha Aston Martin driver begin to trade places here at the front. Gunnar needs to speed up a little bit and try and get in this battle for the battle of winning the race. Ralph is still steady away in P4, but he is 3.5 seconds behind Gunnar. With Relay, Luca all over the back of him. So we've got blue flags in sector 1. Benjius is out of the race. That's full-blown safety car as Robsu decides very late on to pit. He nearly missed the pit entry there, so he's quite fortunate the yellow flags came out when he did, because he could have completely lost the lead of the race by going past the pit entry there. So it's going to be medium tyres for the top 10. turn off the Man United game because that is absolutely depressing. So we're going to run through the grid now. We've got Shiba is now in P1 after pitting for hards earlier on. It is now the only car not to pit under that safety car. Well, not the only car, I think there were 1 or 2 cars that only just pitted before, like Tom, Lightchin, Cedric and Composite. They'd already pitted a few laps earlier, so he gains all those places and is now leading the race. Robsu is in P2, so the race won't restart after this lap. It'll be 1 more lap of safety car, I believe, with Jens Hofer just in P3 there. So Gunnar, P4. Safety car was good for him, as he was about 2.5 seconds away from P2 before that. And Ralph is P5. With really good. He's having a good recovery race, as we mentioned. The Alpha Tauri driver was P20 in qualifying. He's now sat in P6 under this safety car, and he is on medium tyres to the end. So Skipper, he is on the faster soft tyre there in P7 with Relia just behind him on the medium. So the soft tyre will go to the end. Groberi up to P9. He's having a good recovery race as well, with Hammers UK rounding up the top 10 on the soft tyre there. Tom is in 11th on the mediums, with Manlai Donkey in 12th on the faster soft tyre. Lightsim brought back into the race now after a terrible start, so he's half second behind Manlai Donkey on the safety car. Not that the delta really matters at the moment, so he's on 2 lap on mediums with BB Baldy having a bit of a troubled race so far. He's in P14, and the runaway leader earlier on, Exile, 77, 4 seconds clear, loses it. I think it was in sector 2 and then lost it in sector 3, which Benjis drove into him, I think. So Cedric is 16th and Composite is 17th. So 17 drivers remaining, 3 drivers are out. Don't know, but on lap 1, Charlie, I think it was lap 3, and Benjis has just retired a few moments ago. So we're going to head back to the front. We've got Shiva, who's going to be getting this race restarted for us, as the safety car should be in, as Shiva will hold off and let the safety car go. So Shiva really backs him up there. There's going to be carnage there on the final corner, so Shiva has gone. Robsu is in tow behind him with a little gap there to Jens. Can Rob have a look on Shiva, who is going to struggle to heat up these hard tyres. We are going to stay on board with this battle for P1 at the moment and see how Shiva gets on with the hard tyre. Looking at the track map, it looks like everyone's got through turn 2 and 3 okay, as Exile is there in P14 at the moment. Shiba gets a 3-second time penalty for track invalidation. As the medium runners and the hard runners are trying to get some temperature into the tyres here after this safety car restart as they come through the final corners of lap 17 after this safety car restart. So Shiba looks like he might be recharging his battery. Maybe used all his deployment earlier on in the race. Alright, 1 second. Sorry about that. So yeah, so we've got Shiba is struggling here, loses the back end there, and we've got contact with Gunnar and Jens, a bit of wheel to wheel action, bringing Relay Luca into the battle as well. They're in P5, Skipper patiently waiting there in P6, so quite a few penalties around there as well as Relay Luca goes round the outside and up into P4. Gunnar is all over the back of Shiba here as he struggles with these hard tyres as the mediums really come to life now. So DRS is enabled. Gunnar will not get it on this part of the track as he has to lift a little bit there so he doesn't make contact with Shiba, but he allows Shiba through and Gunnar will come again. He knows he's on the faster tyre and will have the opportunities to get in, but that does bring Relay Luca into this podium place battle as Skipper is having a good race as well just behind him. So Shiba struggling on these hard tyres as they make their way through sector 2 now. Relay Luca all over the back of Gunnar as well, as he's losing time to Shiba. He should get past him on the next DRS straight, if not before. Catches a bit of curb there, that unsettled his car a little bit, which again keeps Luca all over the back of him. So this is a great battle for the podium here as Shiba is harvesting a bit of energy through this last section. So Gunnar is past, but so we've got 4 wide here, 3 wide, coming down the home straight as Shiba begins to lose out there. Doesn't have the DRS, doesn't have any battery left, it would seem, and Exile 77 sets the fastest lap as he begins to recover his race. So he's up into P12 now, and his next target is Baldy. So Exile not far off the points now as he tries to recover from his mistakes, as he had the race in his hands, 4 seconds clear at the front, so he's doing a good job. So Cedric gets a 3-second time penalty, as many of the drivers have so far, and Skipper, good race from him so far as Shiba begins to drop back there down from P1 into P5. He'll be regretting picking the hard tyres so early on in the race when he could have picked mediums, as Hammers UK is having a look round the outside but takes a little detour on the grass. That'll be a bit more difficult to slow down with dirt all over the tyres, and Hammers will for sure have a good look at Shiba this time, as he nearly doesn't leave enough room for Hammers there as he goes round the outside of 1, and then turn 2 is his, so Shiba lets him go, and that's Hammers up to P5. So we're getting a good battle here for the podium. Rob is pulling away at the front, the Haas driver. He's having another great race, and I think at Bahrain he was having a really good race but got a puncture there towards the end, and then I think it resulted in a DNF for him. So he's having a good race today. So Gunnar just 3 seconds behind, and Luca is again just having a really good recovery race. DNF'd in quali, P20, wasn't where he usually would be, and he's done well to recover this so far. We have had a couple of safety cars in this race, losing 3 drivers, so 17 left, and the championship is going to swing quite a bit. I mean, you've got Charlie currently top of the standings on 36 with Gunnar on 33. Gunnar is obviously going to overtake Charlie there after his DNF. Lightshim currently down in P13, he's in P3 at the moment in the standings on 33 points as well. Luca on 30 points, and 77 is on 26 with Elliott on 25. So very close at the top. We've got multiple winners already this season. No driver has won twice. Rob currently in P1, he is in P9 in the championship with 20 points for him, so a win today for him can put him up to 45 points, putting him 9 clear of Charlie. So a really interesting championship, and this is a race full of penalties as well. The top 2 guys have not got penalties, and Ralph and Exile haven't also, along with Jens, who's down in P15, so we've missed an incident there with Jens. Didn't see what happened with him dropping down the order as we was focusing on the other battle. So Exile's now up to P7. He's doing a great job. He was in P11 the last time we had a look at him, as they all get DRS on Shiba, who cuts across. Shiba is out of the race. Exile has got damage, and Shiba cannot control that car and nearly takes out Tom there. And this is going to be full safety car again. Wow. Just as we cut to Exile saying he's having a great recovery, the Mercedes driver Shiba did look like he just drifted across there. He didn't see Exile on the inside. It's going to be like, it's going to be tomorrow when this race finishes, I think. But so unfortunate for Shiba there. Just caught up with Exile as we was on board to see that incident, and very unfortunate for him. Has gone the old YouTube and see if we can get an onboard of that again, see what happened. So Robsy decides to pit, wants to go through the soft tyre for sure, with there only being 13 laps remaining. Gunnar decides to pit as well, so Exile staying out. Maybe he didn't get any damage from that. He's got both his end plates as he overtakes the safety car. It looked like he'd gone past the safety car, then realised he needed to stay behind. So Exile now leading the race. Hammers 8 lap old softs, P2, Groberi P3. Baldy's up there in P4, so the whole pack has been switched around here. As I'm just having a look at the replay. Oh. Yeah, it looks like it's Shiva's fault. He had no reason to drift to the left, as the racing line is on the right hand side of the track here, and just collects 77. But it appears 77 doesn't have any damage from what we have from what we've seen, and I think we'll have one more lap under the safety car. I should think, with Man Like Donkey and Composite at the back. So where is Composite? So Composite is between Baldy and Lightchim there on the restart. So this could affect Lightchim's restart here. It's not what he needs. We do wish the game would allow the lap drivers to unlap themselves and bring themselves back into the race, but unfortunately for Composite, he'll be stuck there in 16th and he'll just have to drop down the order, which is not good. It's not what we want to see. As Man Like Donkey begins to make his way around and try and collect the rest of the pack. So Guna. So Robsu, the first of the pitted cars on the soft tyre, is in P5 at the moment. Was P1. Cedric could struggle on those hard tyres and under the restart, and Guna needs to try and get past him as quick as he can. Cedric could do a job to help his teammate in the lead and try and back up the pack. Skipper, he's pitted for fresh mediums. Mustn't have had any softs left, I'm not sure, which is a bit of a strange one. Lucas dropped down to P9 though after the pit stops, and so a lot of the guys at the front have dropped down, and Jens needed that safety car after what looked like he'd had an incident somewhere on track as Man Like Donkey approaches the back of the pack, and we will now head up towards the front for the restart with his teammate Grobari, who will jump on board with, as Hammers will become the safety car. As the safety car will enter the pits. I think this is the third or fourth safety car of the race. It's been an action-packed race, lost 4 drivers, 16 left, and Hammers gets the race underway again. So he gets a good restart with nearly a second gap between him and Grobari as we head down to turn 2 here on lap 26, which should all go very smoothly. And there's blue flags for Composite already. So Composite getting out of the way there, it's getting all the blue flags and takes out a polystyrene board at the same time. So Composite is literally just going to have to drop down to the back here, let all the drivers past, and that's unfortunate for him as he cannot do anything about it. So top 4 drivers all got penalties at the moment. Hammers pulling a 1 second gap to Grobari, with BB Baldy all over the back of Grobari. So we'll stay on board with Baldy. He's not had any finishes this season, currently in P3, and a podium for him would be amazing after a tricky start of the season. But he does have Robsu just behind him on those fresh softs after the pit stop, and Rob's in a good position here, but there is only 5 or 6 laps left. Position is very important on this race. It is difficult to overtake in a lot of the corners, as Baldy runs wide there, allowing Rob through. Maybe just struggling on these medium tyres as Composite gets a 5 second penalty for ignoring blue flags there, as Lightshim ends up the almost up the side of Baldy, who's beginning to drop off a little bit and hold up these Alpine and Alfa Romeo drivers in P5, P6. We got yellow flags in sector 2, but it's a McLaren and it's Grobari. He's had a moment, he's had a spin as he comes back onto the racetrack, and he is Not last because Composite has been lapped, so Lightshim has had a moment there that we've missed. He's dropped down to P14, he's cooked his tyres and he is off. And Grosberry just drives past him there, so we are going to head back to the front. Hammers, massive 3.5 second lead at the moment on these 12 lap old soft tyres. Rob, I say massive lead. Let's take a look at the penalty. My god, he's got 11 seconds of penalties and he's winning the race. Rob is winning the race at the moment. He's in net P1. Knows he has the win in the bag if he just stays within that time of Hammers, which is so unfortunate for him. Gunnar dropping back a little bit now, and Luca just needs to stay within 11 seconds, well 8 seconds of Hammers to get that podium place. So even though he has a penalty, he can still get that final podium position, but he does have Exile all over the back of him. Could have some potential minor damage to the wing, but opted not to pit, as he has the pace to do really well here, as Baldy gets another 3 second time penalty, putting him up to 6 seconds there. So Exile is in prime position here to get this podium after a pretty eventful race for him after. So Luca weaves there, little dangerous, moving left and right with a car directly behind him, but no damage was caused, and 77 is now on his way chasing down Gunnar. So you got Relic here, P7, 3 second penalty, but Skipper does have 6 seconds here in P6 as we begin to get a little bit of a pack forming here. Baldy has dropped down the order a bit now to P10 as he's struggling on the slower medium tyre, and his teammate is ahead of him now, and just behind Ralph. These two drivers do not have penalties, as Exile gets that 3 second time penalty. So he had a podium position in the bag. He still has that in the bag at the moment with his move on Luca, now 1.5 seconds ahead, so doesn't really change anything for him as he sets the fastest lap and is all over the back of Gunnar, opens up that DRS wing and gets it an easy job done into turn 2 and 3. So this is for P2, with Hammers UK having all of those penalties. Robsu is the leader of the race at the moment. So for Exile to win this, he's going to have to overtake Rob and get over 3 seconds gap to him. So a big ask, but with the pace that we've seen Exile 77 having in this race, he may just be able to do it. But Rob has not been slow by any means, and will be an interesting last few laps of the race to see if Exile can win this race after all the incidents that have happened. So the pack is beginning to space out a little bit. We've got the Jens Ralph battle here for P8, both on similar aged soft tyres, with Ralph on the 1 lap fresher of those. So Jens gets the DRS, but Ralph gets the DRS as well. The Skipper on the medium tyre is beginning to lose places as Ralph gets past him, and now has Jens all over the back. So we're going to go to Exile. He is right on the back of Rob at the moment. He'll get DRS down the start finish straight of the final lap, and will somehow have to pull out 3 second gap to Rob as Exile picks up that penalty a couple of laps ago, as he sends it in a little deep there, but gets right on the back of Rob. It's going to be interesting to see what Hammers does here with all those penalties. We've got a yellow flag, we've got a McLaren off, which I think is Grosberry, and he's back on his way, so be an interesting last lap for sure. So Exile gets another 3-second time penalty, so Exile cannot win this race. Rob looks to have the win in the bag as he makes the move easily on Hammers UK, and Exile will want to come along as well. Hammers doesn't need to defend it, he just needs to do the fastest lap he can, as he isn't really in a race with the these two guys out front. I think Exile is going to want to win on track to prove a point, but he will not get that P1 position, I don't think, as they make contact on the exit there, as Exile just showing how quick he is around here. But those penalties are going to cost him the win. Gunnar will get promoted to P2 as it stands. So Exile having a little look in the chicane, bit dangerous. He doesn't need to do this, he's got 6 seconds of penalties, and you know, Rob has had a good safe race and there's no need for any contact here. He can't gain anything from it, and he does look pretty keen there to try and win on track as Rob crosses the line and wins the race there, with Exile just behind him dropping down to P3, with Gunnar being promoted to P2. Relay Luca, good recovery race from him, up to P4, with Ralph in P5 and Elliot dropping down to P6. Hammers finishes in P7 after all those penalties, and Man Like Donkey is in P8 in the points for him. Jens Hoffer is in P9 with Skipper finally getting some points on the board in P10. Second Ash driver there, Tom's Putty, just missing out on the points, with BV Baldy getting his first finish of the race. Not in the points, but he'll be happy that he finishes on a tricky circuit like this. And Grosberry, disappointing result for him with the pace he has in P13. Leitchim also disappointed as well. He's up there in the championship, but couldn't really get going in this race, with Cedric bringing it home in P15. And Composite, unfortunately for him, he was lapped and could not unlap himself under the safety car, rounds up the grid there in P15. So that was a very exciting Imola race to watch, with multiple safety cars here, with Relay Luca getting the driver of the day there, going from, I think it was P15 up to P4 at the end. So good result for him. But Rob is your race winner here, so 4 races, 4 different winners, which is setting up a absolute fantastic Division 5 season. And it's the final season on this game before the new game comes out, so I think it's a few less races than normal. So we've got a really good season in store, and so congratulations to Rob there, getting the win for the Haas team, and Gunnar in P2 there with no penalties. Majority of the drivers still have penalties, but Ralph and Man Like Donkey didn't get them either, so good driving from them. So that is the race completed for this week in Division 5, and thank you very much for tuning in, and we will catch you tomorrow with some D4 and D2 action as DTR continues with this season 3. So thank you very much, and we will see you next time.